Welcome to the Morning Hustle. Is a woman who seems like she's in a cycle of controversy. Seems like every 6 months the attack is back on. But she stand up on her own too. She here to defend hers, man. One time for DMV's own Jess Hilarious. What up, sis?
Jess, what's up?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, we're doing great. All right, so let's just get to it, man. Like, one thing I like is somebody who will lick their thumbs and Vaseline their face and go out there and stand on their own too. And whether you feel like people are right or you feel like, wrong, whatever, you willing to defend yours. What's going on right now? Why are you standing up for yourself this time?
There's so many different wars going on that, we've tried to fight all wars. We're not really paying attention to the war at hand, and that's really what the oppressor wants. So, we as Black people, I feel like that's all we do is divide each other up. And by our own, we divide ourselves. And I spoke very long about cancel culture the other day, and I really feel very strongly in my heart that we can't get past mistakes others have made. So we can't look at people like they don't look at us as problem solvers. Social media influencers, they can never look at us as problem solvers because they're so focused on how we've messed up in the past, and especially me. I say something, then they biting my head off. I could post justice for George Floyd, and they will be like, "Wayne, forget about that time you got them Sikhs put off the plane." And I'll be like, first of all, I never got anything put off the plane. Nobody put off the plane, but at the same time, why? That's not the issue. Right? We're not even no plane gets charges. Nobody's free about a movement that needs to be like on the forefront right now. It needs to be the topic of discussion for everybody right now. What somebody said wrong, or how they offended a community of people, or whatever a social media influencers have done in the past, should not come up when they're trying to do right. It shouldn't come up if they're trying right. And I don't think that should come up. Now, I don't exempt myself from anything. I love being canceled. I don't give a damn. You know me. I don't care. What is Jess without controversy?
I mean, that's one thing that I always, it baffled me about just, the whole thing about cancel culture. You could donate thousands of dollars to school, put people through college, pull a straw out of a turtle's eye. You could advocate and save people at every level. But if you do one thing that the people are not rocking with, they don't agree with, they're quick to hit the delete button on you and you out of here.
They'll throw you away, man. They'll throw you away, or they'll try to trade somebody from another race for you. Like they'll trade. You ever see? Yeah, and I think that sounds a bit slavey to me. I don't like when Black people jump in the comments and say, "Oh, we want to trade this person for Michael Rappaport or whoever." I'm just saying that I've never seen anybody say that.
He's the go-to white guy that we would trade people for. I mean, not for nothing. Like, this week we were talking heavily about Terry Crews. He's.
I'm willing to give him up. I'm sorry. He could just. So I got a question for you, Jess. Do you feel like when people did quote unquote cancel you the first time, that it affected your money?
No, being canceled never affected my money. One time when I got into it with the Muslims. Listen, I don't even know who I got into it with. It was so many people coming at me. So I don't even know, but I'm going to say the Muslims because they thought I was talking about them, and I don't know. So that's a really, really big, like the Muslims, they big, and
it's more than one type of Muslim too. Yeah. Like you got to know who you're addressing.
They got like different departments within Islam. Them niggas got different departments or whatever, and I was on a college show, and I was kicked off the college show for that controversy predicament. But that was the only time I was kicked off of one college show. I never lost any sponsors. I never lost any money. I just got kicked off of a college show. That was it.
All right, Jess. Now, how do you respond to people when the commentary is, you have a platform, and your comment was basically around, hey, you guys are trying to take the platform or cancel people who have a platform simply because they have a platform versus, hey, you've been given this platform that you work for. and you're entitled to have an opinion. How do you address that specifically?
I mean, how I think of it is these same people that cancel me, you know, are the same people that built me up, the same people that wanted me to keep on doing what I was doing, the same people that love my raw form of comedy, the same people that love this mouth and how I'm able to say what people are thinking but don't want to say because they don't want to be attacked for uncommon opinions. So when given that question, that's just exactly how I feel about it. You know, the same thing that can get you where you are is the same thing, like the same thing that people can love you for, the same people will turn around and hate you for, because there are a lot of bandwagoners. Like it is so many, people don't want to stand out anymore because they're scared, you know, and that's the thing. They don't want to stand out. If you stand out, you get attacked, you know, and then a lot of people can't deal with that. There's a lot mental illness stems from social media as well, because everything is, so we're surrounded by negative. Like negative has become the norm, and it's sad. It's really sad. Like, but that's just exactly how I feel about it.
You know,
personally,
one of the things you mentioned in your video, and you know, and I talk about this all the time. Sometimes the worst thing that can happen for some of us is we outlive our timeline per se. You know, when you go back to the 80s and 90s, there's certain things you used to be able to just say when somebody popped off at you, and now, welcome to 2020, those same words could get you canceled. You know, like Eddie Murphy could not do any of his earlier specials right now without having people with, you know, picket signs outside his comedy show, because it's a different time, space.
Right now.
Now, how do you find a way to create comedy with that right now? Like, with everything that's going on, how are you trying to find something funny to bring out of this to create to the people?
You know, me, I can make anything funny to me, you know, and I know how to ride that line without crossing it, you know, just enough to where I'll be canceled for whatever I say, but I've accepted that. It's just a word to me. But I know how to make certain things funny with riding that line. You know what I'm saying? Because there are people who find joy in laughing rather than finding joy in just sitting around with everybody else being mad. It takes way more energy to be angry at somebody than to just laugh at that, you know? And that's what I do with my Jess with the Mess. A lot of people that hate it, but it's 10 more million people that like it. You know, I mean, love it. You know, that should get them through their day. You know, that I can actually bring humor to it, and I just keep doing everything that I have been doing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not gonna like me. I've known that since before I became just hilarious. You know.
So when you see like certain comedians, like how the Jimmy Fallon situation played out, and they were like, well, he was dressed in blackface and he was being disrespectful to the culture, and then you turn around and say a race joke, and it kind of gets you canceled. Like, he can apologize, and people have defended him, like Jamie Foxx. But then when you apologize, it's kind of just like, do you think having a woman or being a black woman has anything to do with it? Like, do you feel like, you know, they could get away with things a little easier than maybe you can?
Man, hell yeah. And then it's not even only about being a black woman. It's just about being black, period. And I think that's what the people lose sight of. It's like, yo, y'all literally went to bat for that man in them comments, like, and you know, I love Jimmy Fallon, you know, and they went to bat, and it was like a lot of black people who I see under my comment the same, like, oh, you always you know, like they just quick to attack me. It's not even the fact that I'm a black woman. A lot of times, L'Oreal, they just hate who it is. Like they just who it is. If Amanda Seales jump out there and say something, they'll attack. They'll hate her. And if another, like if Gabrielle Union said, oh, it's great. It's sometimes it's just the person. Like it just be the person. Like they don't like this. If you're too loud, they don't like you. If you got bass in your voice, they don't like you. If you ain't kissing ass, they don't like you. You know what I'm saying? So me, I'm a rough talking Baltimore chick. I don't really kiss ass too much. I apologize when need be. But it ain't gonna be, I'm gonna keep saying sorry just for y'all motherfuckers to turn around and still not like me. Nah,
right.
That's not what it's gonna be. So, you know, they hate that. They hate when you're unapologetically you. They hate it. you know?
What made you decide to not want to originally apologize in the first incident that you had? Because at first you were like, I'm not apologizing. It was a joke. And then you were like, you know what? I hurt some people feeling. So who did somebody talk to you about that? Or was that just something you came to on your own to apologize?
No, because see, I don't have a big team. I don't even have a publicist. I never had, well, I had one when I was filming Rel, and that was it. Got rid of that right after that. I mean, I don't know. I don't really need crisis management and all that type of shit for real, because that shit is phony. You know, when you anybody to issue an apology for me and shit, that's why at first I didn't apologize, because it was I felt like I was being attacked. Now, that goes back to what Headcrack was saying. This ain't the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s where you could just get online, get online and say anything. Like, that would be a funny joke in my hood. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see, and then ever since 9/11, that's what they painted the terrorists to look like. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. To wear the head wraps and to dress, that's what society put out there. That's what was
brainwash.
On TV. Mm-hmm. Yeah, America painted the face of the terrorists to look like those men that I had seen.
That's true.
You know? And so, yeah, with me being a little scared, I was still being playful. I didn't realize how that could have hurt them men, that those 4 people's feelings, but they still didn't get kicked off the plane. I just didn't see them when we boarded. I was high as shit. I went to sleep when we reboarded. I gave it a walk. You know what I'm saying? But what really made me apologize was when Sikhs started reaching out to me. Now, I had never heard of the Sikh community. Of course, everybody knows Muslims, but I never heard of these Sikhs. And they weren't mad. There was the Muslims. Muslims were upset. Black people was jumping on me. People who didn't even have anything to do with the situation. Even somebody Jewish came at me. I'm like, this ain't even got nothing.
Usually, y'all don't be nowhere in sight when we talk about Muslim issues.
Right. And what made me apologize, because they had educated me in my DMs. It was a bunch of them, and it was like, listen, you really offended. So those were Sikhs. Those weren't Muslims. Those weren't they're Sikhs. We do a lot of helping around the world. We help out in this country, in that country, and we're a great community of people. And I had to educate myself on those people. I didn't even know. So now I know everybody who wears, a certain attire is not associated with Muslims or terrorists, or these people, they're their own people, but they may look like a certain person and not stereotyped. And that's what I apologize for, because I hurt that community of people and didn't even know they existed. So that's where the apology came from. I can be a grown woman and say, oh damn, that was dumb as hell, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. But it's like, at the same time, when you got millions and millions of people just attacking you and you're only one person, and the only thing I know how to do is fight when I feel that.
Right.
That's what gets me in a deeper hole, because then it looked like I don't care. Well, really, I'm defending myself. Y'all motherfuckers calling me this and that and this and that, and it's like I can't say nothing. So
it's like they want you to have empathy, but you're being attacked.
Yeah.
So it kind of it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you've had some issues when people in the trans LGBTQ plus community have attacked you and said stuff, and you've had retaliatory responses. And which brings me to my question about what's going on today. Recent comments came out about Billy Porter and him making his address that Black people are guilty of white supremacy style hatred towards the LGBTQ plus community, and bringing this up during the movement of Black Lives Matter, that Black people need to address this. How did that make you feel?
So the thing about, the issues that Billy Porter had brought up with the Black community, like I said, I feel like, man, it's a bunch of different wars that Black people want to have on right now. I think if we address one thing at a time, like, it makes it easier, because this is like we're warring with ourselves. How are we going to war against these people? And then when as I'm about to strike our enemy, you tap me on my shoulder and you tell me, well, I ain't like how you ain't put the gay in the front, man. If we, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but now you got a problem with me. You taking my attention off of our enemy, the war at hand right now. And now me and you fighting.
Right.
And then we got another war over here. They fighting over colorism. Because we got a light skin and a Black girl fighting in the corner, when really we our allies in front of us. Why are we paying attention So why this light-skinned girl is beside you and she made fun of you in middle school, so now you don't want to fight with her.
Right.
Because she feel like her hair curlier than yours. So now you don't want to fight with her. So now you fighting. Then we got this couple in the corner. Like, it's so many wars. We can never focus on one thing. Like, before we start attacking each other about how we treat each other. If we just put that shit aside right now and come together and fight the war at hand, then we might even start, that may change us. That may change everything.
It's one thing at a time that you got to deal with. I mean, one part that people leave off about the Billy Porter thing, he was speaking about a person who got attacked at a rally for, you know, the things that we were protesting about. But the gaslight word there is when you say white supremacy, and then here comes more confusion. You can't compare this to that. Right. And then it creates many arguments within an argument that all started about us trying to get to one destination in its totality. It's confusion, and we're easily confused as people, like fucking lemmings sometimes. I hate this shit sometimes.
And I can't stand it, yo. And what pissed me off is the last time that Black people agreed on something was when
reparations.
When Trump that was the last time that Black people all came together and we was mad, but we was all mad together for one cause. It was like when Trump was elected, it was really no beefing within the Black community because we all felt one way about one thing. When Obama won, we all felt one way about one thing. And that was like the last time, like the last two times that we actually all agreed collectively and came together as a fucking each election, the last two elections. Like, that was it.
Yeah, it's tough. Now, one thing you mentioned earlier about, you know, because you're very opinionated, very outspoken, and confident as fuck, and I love it. People probably feel like they could come at you any old kind of way in the comments and whatnot. What is something that you've seen that, you know, as tough and confident as you are, cut different? You know, it made your shoulders drop down a little bit. And all of a sudden, you weren't just Hilarious the comedian. You just Jessica at that moment.
Yo, when I tell you, all right, so just like the other day, all right, so I was on a blog site and I had seen that this Baltimore family lost their daughter to gun violence. And she was like 16 years old, so they lost her. Now, I'm not active on Twitter. I have someone to run my Twitter for me as well as my Facebook, but I run my own Instagram and my own Snapchat. And I had commented and I was like, can somebody help me find this family? I live in Baltimore. I didn't even know that, you know, I didn't even hear about this story with everything going on. I just didn't see this. You know, the mother was on there and she was just like, it's like nobody cares because my daughter wasn't killed by a white cop. I know that's the issue going on right now, but gun violence, period, is an issue as well, especially in Baltimore City. I agree. So all she wanted was a peaceful protest conducted for her daughter against gun violence, right? I was gonna, I actually am partnering with the family to conduct a peaceful protest toward against gun violence for this lady's daughter. That's all she wanted. She said the mayor didn't contact her back. Sean King didn't contact her back. Now, these people are busy with other issues, but if I can lend my hand, I'm gonna do that, you know? Mm-hmm. So in the comments, like, yo, can somebody help me find this family? I can't believe I live in Baltimore. I haven't heard the story. It's been a lot of things going on. Can somebody help me find her or drop her name here? They jumped on my neck in the comments like, oh, you only want to do this for clout. This comment is for clout. How you a so-called famous person, but you don't, but you can't find nobody. You lazy. That's all y'all MFers do. Now, I bet not on the news, standing next to this lady's mother for no clout. And I'm like, yo, what? That shit made me, I was really fighting in the comments yesterday, yo, and I don't even really be trying to do that shit no more because nobody can win a comment back, like
at all. Yeah.
Like, and then why it's other shit I need to do, so I'm not even ready to be doing that. But that shit made me mad, yo. That's really when, like, that gets under my skin. Like, I let a lot roll off my back, but that shit right there, that shit made me upset because they also make celebrities scared to post to talk about what they do in the community or good deeds because it's like y'all want us to do something, but when we tell y'all about what we do, it's for clout or y'all showing off or y'all, you know, it's You damned
You
if you
can't
do.
win. You know,
Yeah.
people come in, certain people wear such and such during all these protests. Well, maybe they're doing things quietly. Because, like, the second you put yourself out there, one or two things are going to happen. They're going to say you clout chasing, or you're going to have every organization in the world beating down your door asking for things. And the second you say no to somebody, you're the villain.
So I was asking, I know you mentioned Queen Naja, like you defended her kinda. Did she reach out to you and like thank you for that? Do y'all have a relationship, or were you just feeling her pain at that moment?
I felt like everybody I named in that video, like I was just feeling their pain. Like I see a lot of my social media influencers, like my peers in that sense, they getting attacked and, you know, over things they're saying or whatever. And Queen Naja, you know, that none of them reached out. Nobody reached out at all when I defend them or whatever, but that's really not why it's done. I would like a fucking thank you as hard as I be going for my I ain't gonna hold you. I would love for a motherfucker to be like, thank you, Jess. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody hates you. Thank you for speaking up for me, because I'm the most hated. So if I'm out here actually really defending motherfuckers that's cancer, I'm sorry, that's my brother. He rude as shit. If I'm out here defending motherfuckers for being canceled, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm the one that know firsthand about it. Say thank you, motherfucker, but it's all right. I ain't, you know, it is what it is. I ain't do it for a thank you. I did it because people need to understand, you know, but.
What's going on with your love life, Jess? Because we know you had a relationship that went out in the public, and you like me. I'm like that. Like I go back to situations that maybe I shouldn't have, you know, and all that good stuff. So are you back in any situations that you shouldn't be in now, or?
Oh, no. I'm not back in any situation. We actually cool with my ex. We talk with me. Country Wayne, we're fine. I'm actually him now. Chris with him. But I'm single. Listen, girl, the type of niggas I like, they keep telling me I can't date them because I need to get out that hood mentality. I don't know. I just love me a rough hood nigga, L'Oreal, because I'm the same. I'm like a rough nigga myself, so I can't handle damn Russell Wilson.
You need to be handled.
Look at what I got on. I look like I just came home from jail. I can't be having
So in a perfect world, which city does your ideal dude come from? Like if you had to, like, you know, like put together your dating personality profile, what does this person look like? Where they from? What are they eating for dinner? What's their midnight snack?
She better be the midnight snack now, child.
Motherfucker, right? I'm the midnight snack, but I'm telling you, my come from here, Baltimore, because he gonna understand my ass. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I gotta come from DMV. He gotta come from here, yo, because not even DC, I can't even date none of them niggas down the road. Yo, I can't. It gotta be a Baltimore nigga, yo, just because he understands my mentality and how I think. And up now, he ain't gonna be no bum ass, you know, Baltimore nigga. It's Baltimore nigga shit. He's gonna be top of the food chain and shit. But, you know, what he eat for breakfast, he eat whatever the fuck I cook. You know, that's what he gonna eat. Cause I can cook. My food is good. You know, he ain't gonna be.
Jess.
He gonna have to understand I need to smoke a blunt and I need my space. He need to understand that I don't want him to do none of that shit though. We both can't be smoking weed, drinking Hennessy all day. We can't both do that.
Somebody gotta be the responsible one for the moment. Like, but in your last two relationships, Jess, who made the first move? You know, because I can imagine that, you know, a non-typical civilian dude might be slightly intimidated by you, but, you know, cats know what time it is, know how to pull up on somebody like you. So who made the move on you the last two times?
Yo, honestly, Wayne made the move. Country Wayne made the move. He did. That nigga was chasing me for like 2 years. He ain't care about shit.
Pepe Le Pew out here.
He ain't care about doing nothing. He 2 years, and I gave him a chance at the 2 years. And he made the first move doing everything. Nigga even got me a house. I was like, okay, that's the move I'm talking about.
I know that's right. So what made you finally be like, all right, we just got to be friends because I can't take your crap no more?
The fact that he wanted me to be very submissive because he bought me the house.
That's the trick.
So would he talk to you differently in the house that he bought you versus places y'all be hanging out with that wasn't the house?
I'll smack the shit out of Wayne. No, he didn't. But what he would do is, like, for instance, he wanted me to move to Atlanta, you know, because he wanted to buy a big house for him and his children, which, by the way, is another. And he wanted me to move down. I wasn't ready to leave. I'm a homebody, and my man is here. He's not. I want to keep him in school. I don't want to move to be all right. I want to move to you. I want my like a real childhood. So I pick up and move. Well, you don't know what sacrifice is. I've sacrificed so much for you. I chased you for 2 years. I went against the Bible, and I said, "Oh,
went against the Bible."
Not you went against the Bible when you got 9 kids outside of marriage. Like what you mean? You go against the Bible every day. You went against the Bible when you cheated, when you lied about the divorce. You went against the Bible. So now what's going on?
Like he literally has 9 children. Like
literally have 9 children. They're all his. His name is on all the birth certificates.
I thought you were exaggerating.
Now wait a damn minute, Jess. Now at this point, but Jess, at what point do you, like, you know, knowing this going in, you know, because like we talk about the women that date Future and end up pregnant, right? At what point do you be like, damn, will I be baby mama number 10?
He calling you Eliza Rain.
I knew damn well I wasn't gonna be baby mama. I knew that going in. I don't care. And I'm fertile as hell, but he wasn't going in this shit raw. No, he wasn't.
You know, we was talking about a story earlier, like in this era of COVID-19, they're saying people not only were out there, like, you know, practice safe sex by having a condom, but also wearing a face mask. Like, would you let a dude hit wearing a face mask?
No, the fuck I won't, because that gives me rape vibes. I don't like. Like, sir, I need to see your face. What are you doing? Like, I don't like that. So no.
What about kissing? Because they also said that you should kiss less while you're having sex to avoid catching coronavirus. Are you a kisser when you have sex?
Yes, I'm a kiss. I want you to look at me in my eyes. I want you to choke me. I want all that.
I like your style, kid.
Coronavirus.
No doubt. Hey, yo, Jess, man, I can't wait till you move it around. You can pull back up on it. So what's next for you? Like, I know, you know, productions are starting to, like, go back to it. I know you was doing your TV thing. What's happening?
I got 3 different series that I'm going to pitch. I'm going to go to LA as soon as the world open back up. I actually had meetings that had to be pushed back. So after this COVID shit, but everything happens for a reason. I had a lot of time to work on all my shit. You know, 3 different series. My son has his own series. It's called Lil Dude. Y'all need to tune into that every Sunday at 8 on IGTV. That should be. Then I got my own docu-series. It's called Justified. It's basically like a reality comedy show about me being in the industry, navigating my way through the stand-up comedy, being an actress. It stars me, my brother, just my team when it comes to the industry and how I'm moving around. And then I have just different segments that I have on Instagram and shit like that or whatever. But my goal is to create like a Living Color and have different comedy segments or whatever and pitch that shit. So I got a lot of shit that I'm working on. I'm dropping a podcast. And this shit is gonna be called You Cancel. And
how are we spelling you?
You said, how am I spelling you?
Yeah.
YWWWW.
It's the only Baltimore way to move on that one right there. Yo, real quick on some Baltimore shit. Have you seen the video on YouTube with the Baltimore accent test?
Yes, yo, yes.
He makes us watch it all the time.
Can you say Ann earned the iron earned?
It's earn the iron.
Who's on that tape? Jess was on that tape with the dudes. That was you.
Wait, was that you? Was you on there?
Yo, we love you, girl. Yo, continue success, and thank you for pulling up on us this morning. And I know, you know, in this climate we in, doing what you do ain't the easiest thing, man. But yo, continue to stand by your truths, man, and the people are gonna rock with you.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, L'Oreal. Love y'all.
We are the Morning Hustle.